Did you buy Steve on Super Smash Bros. Only to take a look at his material bar and go, what in the world am I going to do with this? Well, fear not. After only a few hundred hours of experimenting with its mechanics, I've gotten all the information on how your materials work. It's worth mentioning that this bar is a proportion bar for the ratio of your dirt, wood, stone, and iron, but unless you have enough resources, their distinct units can be seen. Now, as much as it seems like you can only have 1 gold and 1 diamond, you can have 3 gold and 5 diamonds, but it will only show you if you have any or not. Also, even though there's gold on your screen, it doesn't always mean that you can make a gold tool. I'll explain that later. To start off simply, I'll first explain placing blocks. A dirt block costs 2 dirt, a wood block costs 2 wood, a stone block costs 1 stone, and an iron block costs 1 iron. Then for tools, to craft a wooden tool it costs 2 wood, a stone tool costs 1 stone, an iron tool costs 4 iron, a gold tool 1 gold, and a diamond tool 1 diamond. To create a cart it costs 1 iron. For each rail that gets put down, it will use the least priority material in your bar. For dirt, wood, and stone, it costs 1 of each for every rail, but for each iron that's used, 7 get placed down. Now, when you start the cart, sometimes you get a boost from a powered rail, and you can even press the special button again while riding on the ground to place another. There is a cost to those powered rails, and that cost is 1/4 of gold. That's right, it takes 1/4 of a piece of gold to power them. This is why you might not be able to craft gold tools even though there's a gold ingot icon on your screen. You might only have a fraction of a bar. A good way to check is to see if the icon of gold or even diamond is flashing. If it's flashing, then that means that that material will be used when you craft a new tool. Elytra doesn't cost anything. Dingus. To create TNT, it will use any of the materials in your bar, in the order of priority. Now, the amount of materials that it will use to make the TNT is a bit tricky. To put it into perspective, let's say the TNT costs 25 gabes. Each dirt is worth 1 gabe. Each wood or stone is worth 2.5 gabes, and each iron is worth 5 gabes. So, to reiterate, it would take 25 dirt, 10 wood/stone, or 5 iron to make TNT. But even if you don't have that much of a certain resource, multiple types can be used at once. To spawn an anvil, whether you're doing your down air or down throw, it costs 1 iron. When you die, if your iron is at less than 3, you respawn with 3 iron. To summon your crafting table by shielding and pressing your special button, it will either take 2 wood, 4 stone, or 1 iron. Usually it takes priority queue, but once I, for whatever reason, could only summon it with the materials of the ground I was standing on. I haven't been able to repeat it. Weird. Well, I think that about wraps it up. What's that you say? Redstone? There's no redstone in... Wait a minute. I do recall picking up redstone when I dig, but there's no sign of a redstone indicator anywhere. What does it do? What does it mean? Well, let's find out. Even though there's no redstone counter on your screen, the game still keeps track of how much redstone you can have. It's actually extremely hard to run out of redstone. You can have 5 things of redstone until you start getting rid of it after mining some. But it's not about how much you can have, it's about how little you use when you do attacks that use it. The only ways to use up redstone is placing a redstone path to TNT, placing a pressure plate to redstone, and placing a redstone torch to power a powered rail. This took me way too long to figure out, but the amount of redstone it costs to place down a redstone path is 1/132nd of redstone per block of path you place. The cost for a pressure plate is 18/132nd of redstone. To place a redstone torch for the powered rail, it costs 1/3 redstone. It is virtually impossible to run out of redstone after you've maxed out on 5, but it is possible. If you max out on gold, use 12 powered rails, then mine up another gold without getting a redstone, and use 3 more, you will run out of redstone. Without redstone, you can't use powered rails, and you can only place a block of TNT. You won't be able to create a line or a pressure plate. In all, the redstone is quite mysterious, but the truth is that you don't need to worry about your redstone levels in-game once you've maxed out.